kick placement, you know? I mean, if we're kicking balls that are not hung up in the air, it doesn't give our guys a chance to cover to get down there. And then guys are going to have to get on flocks. I mean, he's really good until he's one of those unique returners that he doesn't just catch the ball and run in there blind and hope he hits the seam. I mean, you can tell he's very patient. You know, he's trying to see where that seam is developing, and there's not a lot of kick returners out there that do that, and you can see that on tape. That's why he's so good.
I don't think anybody asked, Travis Feeney okay?
Travis Feeney is day-to-day. You know, I mean, it's that part of the season where we got a lot of guys that have played a lot of reps, and they're going to take some bumps and bruises. And, you know, at this point, those guys are all gone, and we'll see what happens.
How did Wishing do in his spot?
He did, you know, I will say this, he's improved. He has improved every game, every week, you know, even from where he was in fall. And so, you know, he gets more and more reps. And that's what happens when you get this late into the, well, since say late, middle of the season. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of those guys that are backups that maybe didn't get quite as much early on, they're going to get a lot more. And it's not just at that position, it's a lot of positions.
Halfway through the season now, it seems like when people look at your defense, the general thought is, how did these guys get better without, you know, by losing, you know, all the NFL guys?
Right.
Are there one or two things? Do you have a sense of, you know, when you watch your defense play, like, okay, this is why we improved. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, okay, we're doing this a lot better. Or...
Well, I think one thing is, you know, I think there's some pretty good players. I mean, I think you always start with that. I mean, there's some pretty good, you know, maybe some underrated guys, you know, because those other guys, Timu and Shaq and Danny and all those guys took all the reps, and Howley. And so those other guys didn't get a ton of reps, but they did get some game reps, and they practiced their tail off. And so I think there's some pretty good talent there. And the second thing is I think they've been all in, and they've really been, you know, working their tail off at practice. I mean, I think that's one of the more impressive things if you watch how hard they practice. I mean, they're out there, and it's, you know, a lot of times those are physical practices. And we got to be careful, we got to be smart because it is a long season, but I think there's no way really to continue to build skill if you can't go hard out there, and I think that's what those defensive guys have done.
The secondary, I imagine, had something to do with that it was such an uncertainty last year, and then maybe more of a strength this year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I see when Buddha plays, you know, a full season, and Sidney Jones plays a full season, and Darren Gardenhire got some time, and Kevin King was on the field, you know, a decent amount at safety and moving those guys around. I mean, all those reps really matter, and you know, those guys have taken their game to the next step as well. And, you know, we're still looking for that each game. I mean, the thing that's so interesting about defense, I mean, you can play, you know, 70 really good snaps, and 5 somebody breaks down, and that's 35 points. And right there, all of a sudden, looks like you're not playing good defense. And so that's why it's so hard, you know, to play championship quality defense. If we can keep staying on point and not lose our focus, that's what we'll need.
You guys are pushing Stanford for academic reputation. Is that something you recruit to, like an academic All-American? Does that have equal weight with athletics?
I will tell you this, you know, it's a little bit of our OKG philosophy. And, you know, first and foremost, these guys have to be really, really elite players, or we're not going to recruit them. But secondly, they need to be really good dudes, is what we say. And part of that is a character makeup, but a huge chunk of that is their academic makeup. And we want to make sure, without a doubt, that they are serious about it, that their family's serious about it. You know, we're not here to, I think this university is too good for us to bring someone in and have to chase them around, you know, to make academics important to them. And so we're always looking for those guys that fit that mold. And I think I think we've done a good job of that.